Welcome to Slow and Steady, the podcast where you get to follow along as we build products in public. Each week, we'll give you an honest peek into our lives as we share our struggles, our wins, and everything in between. I am Benedicte, and I'm in Oslo, Norway, and today I am feeling a little nervous.
I'm Brian. I'm in Salem, Massachusetts. Today's July 13th, and I am feeling grateful.
And I'm Benedikt. This is episode number 99, and I'm feeling excited.
Benedicte, it is good to have you with us this week.
And we're both here.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
This might be a first. Well, a second time that we actually managed to be on the entire recording the entire time. Like, yes. Brian, whatever you did to your network connection looks good today.
Well, what I did was move. So
well, last week was fine as well. So
yeah.
No more moving.
Well, yeah, right. Right. Yeah, for multiple reasons. Mm-hmm. So, but no, yeah, Benedicte, it's great. It's great having you on the show. Sorry I had to miss last week because of that. Was you had like a little fender bender or something? Or?
Yeah, a little fender bender. I just have to be honest. I probably wouldn't have made it anyway because, or I would have made it like. Maybe made it like in the middle because I think I said 2 weeks ago that we were going to my mom's cabin, and then we decided not to do that to create some like buffer and calm in our summer. And that was great. And the weekend was really good. And we just relaxed and hung out at home. And then my friend texted me and she said, oh, they'd rented the cabin and would like to come? And I'm like, yes, we'll go. I'll rent a car. This is going to be fine. We're going to be home by 4. And I added in like an hour, I feel, at least to the time. And the GPS was like, yeah, you're going to be home at like 3:45. I'm like, this is going to go so good. And then we got into Oslo and I don't know what happened, but it was like a mess, a traffic mess. And I always forget this because I don't ever go by car. Like, I'm a bike person. So I always forget that there's going to be a mess in the center of town. And then while I was in this mess, somebody just like ran into me from behind, like very slowly. It was totally fine, but we had to get out the paperwork. I never done that before. And like make these little illustrations of what happened. And I had to look at his ID. And there was like, so then it kind of just, and I was still like, oh, the GPS says 10 minutes. And that was like half an hour. From those 10 minutes took half an hour. We could have walked faster. So, my whole thing about creating buffers, I think I told you that pre-stream, is like I create these buffers because like buffers are good and then I just like eat them up again. So this is a reminder to keep adding some buffer in my life and your life, dear listener. Yeah. Makes it easier.
Yeah, and then don't fill it up.
Exactly.
That's the harder part.
Yeah,
it seems like, because there's always going to be something fun.
Yeah, I managed 4 days though. 4 days without filling it up, but yeah, okay, pretty good. But then it kind of But now it's starting to become a routine too. It's kind of like I forget a little bit about it and then I see it in the calendar. And now that it's summer, I'm not always clear on what day it is. But back to more of my updates, I guess, since I just started. So
what else happening?
On the personal front, I started running, which is like crazy if you know me. But I've learned that if you're going to make new habits, you have to like make it your new identity. So from now on, I am a runner.
You're a runner.
I'm a runner. I ran and I'm running. I even ran this morning. So that is super cool. So ask me about that in like a month. I'm doing this 0 to 5K program on Runkeeper. Cool. Yeah, it's.
I should friend you on Runkeeper.
Yeah, you can like give me little, I don't know, stars or likes or whatever is on there. Yeah. We can like have. I think you can do joint runs too. We could like run. We could run together.
Yeah. I'll be running at 7 a.m. and you're out for a little afternoon run.
Yeah, that could be good. Yeah. But so back to the nervousness. So we talked about 2 weeks ago. Since then, I've launched my Summer Functions program, the Gatsby Summer Functions. Woo! No sales. So
all right.
Yeah. Starting Monday, or it starts Saturday, but then on Tuesday is the first kind of paid webinar.
Okay.
But I've been talking to some course people and they're like, well, you should have had an early bird offer. I'm like, yes, I probably should have. I probably should have read some more on the preparations, because otherwise people don't buy until the last day. So I could have like 2 people come Monday or 30, who knows? But to everyone who's listening, still 30% off.
Okay, so well, hang on. So, tell me. Tell me what's the timing again? Is like Saturday. Saturday is when it begins, but Monday is not until the first paid webinar. So what's that mean? What's the difference?
Yeah, so the Summer Functions is a 5 weeks, 5 challenges program. So every Saturday you get a challenge and then you get to work on it on your own. So if you want to work on it on the weekend, you can do that. But if you want your weekends open, you can work on it on the Monday. And then on Tuesday, we have a webinar that's part of the paid program. Where I will go through a possible solution, and then the participant can ask me questions on how to solve the work they've already started, kind of like, how would they solve it in their function. And then on Wednesday, for the people who have bought the Sailor package, you get group code review, where we are only 5 people and we will look at, or less, where we will look at the code, and you will get like actual immediate feedback from me and probably Paul as well. And then on Fridays, we do the Gatsby deep dive streams on YouTube that we've done this spring. So that will be like open for all. So that's not part of the paid program. So we'll just run with that. If for some reason nobody buys, then we'll just run with that. But
I guess, I mean, people could continue to sign up even if they miss the first, even half of a week or the first full week. People could still continue to sign up and get a lot of value out of it as it's going along.
Yes, because that they could, because then they could see the first solution in a playback or like in replay, and then they could keep on doing it. And if you've done functions before, then the first one is fairly easy, which is collect information through a form and send it to your Gatsby function, and then send it to user list, for instance. So what do people in those mastermind groups, are they saying about, hey, don't sweat it, nobody signs up until the last minute? What about like signups as the thing is going along, or even like after the live piece is done? I think the kind of conventional wisdom is that you're supposed to have like a really hard deadline so people actually buy.
Have to. Yeah. Okay.
So I think my deadline will be Monday, because then I can do some promotion over the weekend, maybe try to reach out and do some more like direct sales kind of approaches. I did DM like 26 people, and 16 people actually said, I want to know more, which is pretty cool. So I thought like people would be like, stop DMing me. But these were people who had liked the original "should I do this" tweet. So that was a good exercise just to get over that, like scared of like DMing people. So that was super cool. So this is how I do things. I YOLO pretty big, and then I'll cast the net very wide, and then we'll see, and I'll just keep on slow and steady. I'm going to be the turtle. If anybody saw that tweet about the turtle that actually won over the bunny rabbits, and keep on doing this for, again, like with POW, for a long time, and then maybe just do the whole thing again next summer. But don't say that to anybody. This is the only chance.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
That's never going to happen.
You're going to create buffer. This is the only opportunity
ever
have.
Yeah. So but then also yesterday I revealed, to get some like stuff happening, I revealed the first bonus, which is open to everyone. Actually, you can sign up as a webinar. Gatsby security staff engineer Mike, and I'm not going to butcher his last name, G, will demonstrate, and I'm just going to read what he said because he said it so much better than me. Demonstrate common web security flaws that come up time and time again in web application penetration tests. We'll look at how to identify and secure these in your next Gatsby project. So I am at least really looking forward to that webinar, because I think I'll learn a lot on like how to beef up your security on your serverless functions. So that's going to be good. So hopefully people will sign up for different things, and then we'll have fun this summer no matter what. I'm sure of it. We'll show up on YouTube every Friday, no matter what happens. And then I feel like we've been talking about that for a long time. So to wrap it up, or did you have more questions?
I think I kind of want to ask about like how many people had asked to be notified, or like what are the numbers on visitors to the site when you launched, or when you started to promote it and all that sort of thing?
Then I have to open up my analytics. So not that many people kind of signed up. And that was another thing that people said, that because it was so short before I made the landing page, and it was kind of short until it was going to...
It was only like
3 weeks, and then people are like, do they want to sign up to be notified when the thing is going to happen? Like what? Yeah. But then 26 people have liked this tweet. Those were the people I reached out to. And then I only think there were like 6 people on the actual list. So the numbers aren't that high. Okay. And then for visitors, if you want to see my live, people like numbers. So we launched July 1st, I guess. It's been 205 people who's looked at the site, and they're on the site an average of 7 minutes, which I feel like is indication of interest. It's really good.
Yeah.
Because why are you on the site for 7 minutes if you're not seriously thinking about it?
Yeah.
So I need to like push them over the edge in some way.
Yeah. So it's okay. So it seems like even if on this, if you don't get the turnout that that you might have hoped for, it could be that there just wasn't enough lead time.
I think
like you have immense amounts of interest in terms of like time on site. You're like, oh yeah, tell me more, etc., etc. But like maybe there wasn't enough time.
Yeah. And then today at 5, I'm doing, which is like nobody listening to this know what that day is. But anyway, I'm doing a live webinar as an introduction to Gatsby Functions. Cool. That will also be available in replay. So I think hopefully that can then give people a little bit of sense of my style and what they can expect in terms of energy, which I'm trying to sell this a little bit on. Like, I will give you the energy to go all the way to deploy. Even if you don't want to, we will get you there. You can get some of my optimism and energy. So we'll see. But as you said, I think there is interest. I mean, Functions came out in April. So Gatsby Functions came out in April. Right. So the lead time hasn't been that big. But I think it's like building me as the Gatsby authority. I'm like trying to become.
Totally.
As the queen.
Well, continued good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Can't wait to hear how it goes over the weekend.
Yeah, because next time we record, then we'll have the numbers. We'll see.
Right. Yeah.
So there might be a very generous coupon in the next one.
Join now to get 100% discount.
Yeah, right.
Like, somebody show up for my party, please. It feels a little bit like, high school, where it's like, I have a party, everybody's invited, and there's no RSVP, and then you sit there, and then, at 6 o'clock, like one person comes with one beer, and you're like, oh my God, is this the person who's going to be here for the whole night? And then by 8 or 10, like the house is packed, right? So we'll see.
One of the most embarrassing moments of my entire life was, let's see, this would be like the year 2005 or 6. And my wife and I had only been married for a couple of years, and we decided to have a Halloween party at our place with like all of our new friends that we just made in this new town that we were trying to get settled into. And so we were like, okay, let's have a Halloween party. Invited a bunch of people. And this was like, I think it was before Evite had really taken off. So where you could like really count on RSVPs and be like, oh, hey, this doesn't work for a bunch of people, or it does, or whatever. And so like the night of the Halloween party, like we went all out and spent all this time on costumes, and like the hour approaches, and like nobody is showing up, and then finally like a one couple shows up, and again, and they have like gone all out in their costumes, and it's kind of awkward of like, so it's kind of looking like this night didn't really work out for a lot of people. And then one other couple shows up, and they have gone, Karate Kid, like the shower, Daniel LaRusso's like shower thing that he does at the Halloween party. He has built that costume, and it is immaculate, and it is amazing. And the poor dude walks into a room of 6 people. And it was utterly humiliating, for us. And then for them to be looking around like, is this? Yeah. Anyway, I feel like I have to tell that story once a year or so to just continue to get the embarrassment out, because it still makes my stomach turn over every time I think about that.
Oh man.
Okay, so thank you. Thanks for letting me get that off my chest.
So like, yeah, party 101 in Newtown. Do not pick a date other people have parties.
Correct.
For the people out there idea, moving. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because people have so many traditions, right? That it's so hard.
It was the worst. Okay, what else is going on? How's POW?
POW is chugging along. I haven't checked the stats though, but I did some coding. Finally, I did some coding again on POW.
Woohoo.
And it felt really good. I finished the user list integration, but I still haven't migrated the content, so I can't really turn it on until I copy pasted all of my emails over. But I'm going to try.
How many emails are there?
It's just one sequence with 5 emails, so it's not like, but it needs to be done, and it's more fun coding than copy pasting content. Let's be real. So, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to not start tweaking the content, because then I think I'm going to go down a rabbit hole. So I'm just going to copy paste them over and not try to make them better at all. And then, so I'm really looking forward to getting like even more back into the POW coding when kind of summer functions is well on its way, or not well on its way, but when it's on its way and kind of working, then I could work some more on POW. And we lost Brian.
Yeah, looks like it.
He had such good internet, like questioning me on my on my course or my info product or whatever educational thing. So, but I finished up my POW thing. So what's happening over in user list land, Benedict?
Yeah, so just the echo again. Well, whatever. Yeah, user list land is looking okay these days. The live stream went well, I guess. There was a little bit of an audio hiccup in the beginning with the background music and stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but in the end, I think it worked out.
Did you have to have background music that is actually playing through to the stream?
I don't have to have background music. I just thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just skip on the background music the next time. But I figured, like, if I'm not talking the entire time, it will be kind of boring. So maybe
but I don't know. The thing I've learned with like watching other people at least stream, and I think a lot of people do when they watch people's streams, they treat it more like a radio-ish. Like you're not sitting there like focusing on their stream the whole time. You often work on your own thing, and you have it kind of on a second monitor in the background, and you listen in, and then you tab to it every now and then and like have a look at what they're doing. And in that case, maybe people have their own, music on, or they like have other things going on. So you might not need to offer that as well. But I see a lot of people have music on when they stream. So
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'll probably give this one more try, and if it's a problem again, then I'll just skip on the music entirely. But overall, I think it was fun. I enjoyed it. I think 28 people or so watched it, not at the same time, but in total. So I feel like, yeah,
that's good numbers.
Hopefully it wasn't just because it's a new thing, and next time nobody will tune in anymore because like it's too boring. But we'll see. I mean, I'll do another live stream on Thursday, and then we'll see how it goes. One thing that happened though is someone reached out to me offering to join me on the live stream and just do some pair programming, and I thought this would be fun because then I don't have to talk to the void or the chat that's like 30 seconds behind or something like that, which would be helpful. So I'm excited to do this in the future.
Yeah, the chat is very much behind. It's like if it just been like 10 seconds faster, it would be okay. But it's just the amount of time where you're like, oh, and then the comment doesn't make sense at all to what you're doing, right? With the 30, I think it's 30 seconds, like you said.
Yeah, something like that. And I noticed that there's a setting in YouTube where you can set the latency of the stream. I already tried to change it to like medium or something like that. Maybe I'll try like super quick and see if that changes anything, but probably not, because I feel like it was far enough behind to be a little bit confusing at times. So I feel like that setting didn't really change anything. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. Other than that, like it took a little bit of a break from working on the marketing features, and started to work a little bit more on integrations. Not because it's a good idea necessarily, but just to get some fun stuff in between. Like I sometimes feel like, some variety. Sometimes it feels like when you're chugging along in this one big large feature that has like a lot of edge cases and stuff like that tied to it, it becomes more of a burden than it's than being a fun project. So I felt like taking basically a week off of sorts and just working on something else, not necessarily shipping it, but getting that dopamine kick of like starting something new, and being fully aware that I probably just move on and not roll this out just yet. But again, I mean, it's not wasted time, I hope, at least, because we will ship this eventually, but maybe not in the short term. So that's been going on. I was able to build a small Help Scout integration. I'm not entirely sure if I mentioned that last week, but we now have a Help Scout integration that basically shows user properties within Help Scout, so you can see like if someone mails you to your support email address, you can see like what they're using in their account, like what's their plan and stuff like that. All the stuff you're sending to user list, you can see. That's quite helpful. And I also worked on getting OAuth authentication for Help Scout in place, and also for Stripe, so we can eventually process customer data and customer events from Stripe as well. And build a nice UI for it.
That's going to be super slick.
Yeah, I'm excited about that part, because I feel like this is super useful and super like handy, especially for the SaaS use case. Like I did some experimentation with like getting events streamed into user list, but there are no like automations just yet and that stuff. But at least I have a rough idea how this is going to work. So it will happen sometime soon, I hope. And then the last thing that's been going on is we once again have a misbehaving customer of sorts. And
what is a misbehaving customer?
They're not. I'm sure they're not doing this on purpose, but like one of our customers, I'm not sure what they did, but they're sending an event when an error happens for one of their customers. And I have a suspicion that they broke something in their code, and now this error happens every morning for all of their customers. And they're telling user list about this error for all of their customers. And yeah, it's becoming a little bit of a problem because there's a lot of information that we have to process, and that's a little bit clogging things right now. I was working on this shortly before we started recording, and at that point, just this one customer had 100,000 error messages in the queue to be processed. So it's a lot of crap data that probably shouldn't be there.
Have you reached out?
Yeah, how do you?
I have not yet, but I will. I will reach out to them. Like the first order of business is to try to mitigate this on our side. We just today bought a license of Sidekick Enterprise, which is the job processing queue that we're using, and there's a couple of good reasons to buy the Pro version or the Enterprise version over the open source version that we have been using. But the key thing why we're doing this, or why we did this today, was it has a rate limiting feature. So what I introduced is a rate limit based on the account ID. So even though this one customer is sending a bunch of data in, we are basically rate limiting just this one account, and everyone else should get their data processed within reasonable times. So it hopefully, while the system itself isn't any faster in total, the effect on all the other customers is hopefully not as big as it was earlier today, where basically those 100,000 jobs in the queue would queue up everyone else, because it's first in, first out. So that burst of useless data is basically keeping everyone waiting. And with the change, hopefully it's not the case anymore, at least not as bad. So yeah, that's what's been going on. And while we're talking, I'm basically on my second screen. I'm basically checking the stats and seeing the line slowly trending downwards again, which is good. So
is that the long-term solution? Is to rate limit? I mean, right now you're only rate limiting this one customer that you know about, but is that the long-term solution, is to put in rate limiting for everybody, or to think about
we
charging per request?
We already have rate limiting for everybody on the API endpoint, so you can only send 1,000 events per minute. But so far we didn't enforce that rate limit after that. So if you manage to get your 100K events in within a reasonable amount of time, it would still cause problems in the background queue, because there was no rate limiting in there. And what we introduced now is rate limiting also on the background queue level. So if you somehow manage to trigger a lot of work on the background queue, that is also rate limited, and you will be slowed down. And we implemented it for everyone. This isn't just for this customer, but this customer is the only one hitting the rate limit right now. So overall, it should be good. Yeah. Fun times in userless land, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, this just makes me happy. I'm not a proper backend developer. I'm just gonna do my Gatsby functions and let Gatsby handle that. But I guess it's gonna be problems that come up whenever you finally reach some kind of success, I guess, with whatever app that some things are.
Yeah, people always keep telling me
you didn't anticipate, right?
Yeah. People always keep telling me hey, that probably means you're growing. This is a good problem to have, but honestly, it isn't.
I like it.
Because I mean, this might be unique to userless and what userless does, but that customer just having this problem within their application does not mean we are successful. That just means that customer
sending a bunch of junk.
Is sending a bunch of junk, yeah. And they're not paying us more because of that. And even if they would, like, it might be the case that I'm not entirely sure. I've looked into that, but it might be the case that because they're sending a bunch of more data, they are also sending a bunch of more users over. And maybe they are about to upgrade their plan because of that. But it's one of those upgrades where you can be sure that they're probably asking for a refund because it was unintentional and stuff like that. So, it's basically just a problem that needs a solution, and it doesn't necessarily mean that anyone is successful at anything.
You're going to make the change, and you're not going to make any more money off of it. You're actually going to lose money because you had to pay for the enterprise edition finally.
Yeah, that's true. But honestly, I hope it comes with a bunch of cool stuff that I've been looking at over time, and I think it might help us solve some of our problems. So it's not that expensive, and I hope overall we save time and energy and development resources because we don't have to build solutions from scratch. So hope it's a good investment.
Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Brian is back.
What else is happening?
Yeah, Brian is back.
Yeah. I mean, my internet connection is going from 5 out of 5 to just doesn't exist. So I don't know. It's because we jinxed it earlier.
Probably, yeah. But you made it back, which is also a first, I guess.
And just in time for your update.
Yeah.
You'll so we're recording earlier than normal because we're getting ready to go hop on a subway and go into Boston. We're out here in Salem, and so you might hear my family trying to get ready on the other side of this very thin door. So let's see. I haven't said the domain name of the project I've been working on, but it's JTBD.app, jobs to be done, JTBD.app. And so let's see, it's not quite ready for anybody to go sign up or do anything there. It's just a login, screen. And even if you did create an account, you can't add any data to it just yet because I've only got it set up to import this one particular client's survey data format. But what I was able to get done, I got a bunch of performance improvements done. There were some pages that were loading pretty slow, so that's fixed. I adding some just convenience features so that you can interact with your survey data, favorite some particular questions from the survey, set one as a default, just stuff that in working with these things with my clients, it's just been annoying to have to navigate through multiple pages when really this is the thing you want to see. So that all is in place. My focus now, I feel like, needs to be starting to promote it through some of my posts. And as you suggested a couple weeks ago, Benedicte, to put go ahead and just start a notify me list, or integrate it into the email nurturing campaign that people get when they sign up for any of the lead magnets that are on my consulting.
Because it's going to take more than 3 weeks.
And I
so get onto it.
Yes. Yeah, nice. Yeah, well said. So that I feel like I feel like I've got the margin now to focus on that part of it, because my client who is logging in and actually using the JTBD.app for their surveys, they can now do it effectively. Before, it was taking a really long time to load. There were a few things that I had promised them that it wasn't doing. That's all done. And so now I don't feel that that priority or that pressure or whatever to fulfill those promises. So now I can focus on, okay, let's think about building out a landing page, or getting a notify list started. and so on. So felt like a really productive week on that side of things. So just looking forward to keeping it moving.
I went straight to the page, of course, because that is a good domain.
It is, yeah.
I was pretty surprised that it was still available.
Because I'm dyslexic, and I can remember, like, that works. Like, I can like write that out without problems. So I just went straight there, and then you were like, "But you can't really do anything on the page." I was like, "Oh." But it looks good. But it looks good. Yeah, like the sign up looks good. Sign up form looks good.
I mean, sign up form looks like a sign up form. I am not going to try to get a landing page built, anytime in the next, several weeks. Yeah. Because I just don't need that yet. Like, the thing that I need to do is, where do I currently have traffic? BrianRay.com's jobs to be done posts. So I should leverage that.
But you could do a little, in case people listen and they go there and then they don't go to your page, you could have a little link underneath your sign up where it's like, "This is not ready. Sign up to be notified."
Yes, true. Yeah, totally. Yes. Yep. That would definitely work. Okay, cool. I'll make a note. That's the big thing I worked on this week. We on the family side of things, we had a really, really great day yesterday. That where it's just in great spirits. We actually went into Boston yesterday as well, and did the Boston Tea Party Museum, and went to Paul Revere's house, and then went to a science museum. Everybody was just having a great time. It was a really, really good day that we all just really, really enjoyed.
You need to take the duck tours.
We saw those, and so it sounds amazing. Yesterday the weather was not supposed to be good at all, and it ended up cooperating and being fine, but that's why we didn't do the duck tour yesterday. And today we've got a guided tour of the Freedom Trail that we're going to do. So I think tomorrow, Laura and the kids might go back in, and maybe they'll do the duck tour, but I won't be with them.
They have duck tours in several cities. So when I was an adult, and my mom was visiting when I was studying in Boston. I think it was Boston we did it first, or it was Chicago. Anyway, after we done the first one, we're doing duck tours whenever we see a duck tour.
Ever. And so, in case anybody hasn't heard,
let me ask the obvious question: what's the duck tour?
Okay, it's not a tour where you go and see a bunch of ducks.
It isn't.
It's a tour where you're sitting on this special bus / boat vehicle that can both drive down the highway or down the road and then go into the water and take you on
so it's like a tourist bus, but you can also then go on the river, and then they have a brand where they're really fun. It's not the boring tourists talk. They obviously hire highly energized people who tell you fun stories from the city, and it's very it's supposed to be fun and high energy, and we really liked it as adults, but there was lots of kids on the tour, but it was it was surprisingly fun.
Yeah, no, it looks great. It really does. So that's me. It's been a very welcome. It's been a good week, and that's been quite welcome. So gonna head out here in just a bit and keep the fun
When
going.
are you moving the next time? When are you moving locations?
We're actually moving on Friday. We weren't able to extend anything, but so the next place we're going, it's only 1 hour away, which is amazing, and I think we're there for I don't know, 10 or 11 days, something like that. So another decent stretch. So very short drive, lengthy stay. So it's cool. And man, Salem is very cool.
Is that Salem of the witch trials?
It is. Yeah. So we've done some of that history, which is
Very.
very disturbing, sad. It is sad history. But it's just a very cool little village town with, gosh, just beautiful architecture and just it's been really cool. Pulling a 42-foot trailer with a gigantic truck through these old New England roads was not necessarily fun. But now that we're here, it's good.
Yeah,
It's
just
good.
gonna be happy it's not a European old town.
Oh gosh. Yeah, no, not even. Yeah, that's so funny. Like we're driving around through Massachusetts, like, gosh, these roads are so narrow, and it's nothing compared to what you all probably think of as a narrow.
Yeah, I have, because Teslas are all the rage in Norway. We have some generous funding or like tax cuts if you buy an electric car. So we have the highest population of Teslas in the world. And I heard some of my friends had gone with a Tesla then down. Went on a road trip a couple of summers ago, and they almost got stuck somewhere in Spain because it was a one-way road. And then when they were like turning the corner, it was a narrower road, which fits normal European cars fairly well, but the Teslas are so wide. But they were like, it's supposed to work. So they ended up with like one person driving and the other person walking in front, because they had like, I guess in American it's like half an inch, or in Norwegian or in the European like 1 centimeter clearance on each side of the car while they were like driving down there as slow as they could, and like people were on their horns behind them because some Spanish dude is not happy there's a Tesla blocking his tiny road or his narrow road. So but they made it out. But they were like, then they were that was the talk of this summer party, was like, giving a warning to all the other Tesla owners that this is an American car, not made for European old towns.
Yes. Yeah. I guess Tesla will have to come out with the Model E.
Yeah, the Europe.
It's made for Europe, the little tiny thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Well, yeah, that's it for me. Gonna make myself another cup of coffee and go hop on a train.
Say hi to Boston from me.
That's all I got. I will.
Yeah. So sounds like things like spirits are a lot better these days. Like, I mean, things were okay last week, but it sounds like you're actually enjoying yourself.
Yeah. Yes, currently. Yeah. Yes, that is true. Currently enjoying ourselves.
Very good.
So we'll just keep it going. Keep stringing good days together. Yeah. What else can you do?
Nice.
Cool. All right. Good catching up.
Now you can hear my family in the background, or Lillian and all her friends. They just crashed the house.
Yeah. Yay. Well done. Talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.